Hey there, I'm Brittany Schroeder, and business and marketing are my jam. I'm here to walk you step by step through this crazy thing we call business. I'm a small town girl, chocolate eating, Diet Coke drinking mom, marketing guru, automation Jedi, and all around good time. This is your weekly dose of all things business and life, sprinkled with some fun. This is the Redefine Business Podcast. Welcome to another episode of Redefine Business Podcast. I am excited for my guest today. She is a longtime friend. We need to figure out how many years we've known each other, but my guest today is Cindy Swanson, high school senior photographer, educator, creator, influencer, all of the things. Welcome, Cindy, to my podcast.
Thank you, Brittany. Thank you so much. And I just want to interject that I really do. I have enjoyed your podcast so much.
Oh, when did we meet? Like, what year was it? Can we figure this out?
Oh, I mean,
way before COVID. It had to be like 2013 or 2014, I'm thinking.
Oh my gosh. It really might have been that long ago. I don't know.
Yeah. The first time we met, had my son already passed away or no? Because
yes,
I spoke.
Yes,
I spoke.
Yes.
Okay. So that had to be 2017. If that was the first time that we met, it was 2017 or 2018.
And I want to interject that you were a speaker at this conference and I was attending the conference. And you were, and to this day still are, one of the nicest, most realist people. You were, truly, it made a mark on me. It really did, just because you're so authentic and so engaging and so easy to talk to. But anyway, and we've stayed connected ever since. So
I'm always the speaker. I feel like that is like, I want to hang out with all the attendees, and sometimes speakers like flock together and stuff, and I'm like, I want to go hang out with all the attendees and get to know people. So that is like so fun. So one of the reasons that I wanted to have Cindy on is, first of all, she's just adorable, and I just love her. She has such great energy. But I've loved to watch her journey of just like evolving. Like a lot of times when I'm coaching my clients, especially if they're like newly starting a business, I always say, what your business looks like now is going to look completely different in a year. Like, you are constantly evolving. But one of the things I've loved about Cindy is, I met her at this conference, and she was a high school senior photographer. And then, it was like a few years later that I see that she's doing was it a retreat? What did you call it? A conference?
It was an in-person workshop. Mm-hmm.
Workshop. Okay. It was an in-person workshop. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like I love to see people like succeed. And so it was so fun that she was doing these workshops, and they were selling out. And it was so fun to watch you just go. And then this latest thing, so both Cindy and I, we share this love for fashion. I would say that we both just love, like clothes and fashion, and she's just adorable. And then now she's doing some like creator work. She's doing some influencer work. And so it was kind of funny because I was telling you before we hit record that I'm scrolling and I see this ad pop up, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's Cindy. That is Cindy. And I was so excited. And so it's just been so fun. So Cindy, I just want you to talk just a little bit about like this, like your business and where you've been and where you are now. Just tell us your story.
Okay. All right. I would love to. So like you said, I started out as a high school senior portrait photographer. And I've done that for about 18 years now, but I do have a high energy. I do love to learn new things. I always like to have something new, to learn and to do, and it kind of breathes life into what I'm doing. So I've done that for a long time, and there's only so much time in the day, so many times in the year, right, that I can photograph a high school senior. And so I had become sought after, gratefully, and had been successful at that. But there's only so much time. And so I started thinking, how can I scale and how can I trade, some of my time in another way, but still, and I have photographers that would reach out and ask me things. And one of the things that come up a lot is how I treat my photography business like a business. And so that's one of my main mantras. I'm the rare person that is creative, but I love the business side of it as much or more. I have a marketing degree, and I don't know, I'm just, lucky in that way that I enjoy the business side of it. And so my mantra has always been to treat it like the business that it truly is, because it's not a hobby, right? It's, we do have hobbies, but if we're going to have this as a business, we have to treat it like a business, and businesses are to make money and to be profitable. So anyway, so I began to think about scaling and trying to find a way to trade my time for another way to earn, extra income. And so I invested in myself. I'm a big believer in that too. And it's a scary thing to do, to invest, a large amount of money into a mastermind, but to learn how to fast track yourself to get to that next step that you want to get to. So I'm a big believer in that I believe we should invest in ourselves to learn well how to do the steps to get you to that next step. And so my next step was in-person workshops. And it was scary to put myself out there, but I was fortunate enough that I sold out in 3 days. I think I actually accidentally oversold it because I couldn't get the cart closed fast enough. But it was a wonderful thing to happen. And so I hosted a 2.5-day in-person workshop here in the Dallas area in Texas. And that was a really big success. And it was fun to kind of build a community of photographers, to kind of learn and build a network with each other. And like I said, teach a lot about the business side of it and how to raise your prices and how to have boundaries in your business. Because when you're saying yes to a client who wants something from you, that maybe is not in your norm, it's not something you do, but you don't know how to say no. Okay. So you say yes. When you're saying yes to that, you're ultimately saying no to either your family or to yourself or something you want to do. So, and I don't know, I've just always been very resolute on that. And so that comes up a lot in the workshops. They're like, okay, well, how do I say no? And I'm like, well, you say it kindly and you say it with respect and you get respect back from it. But having boundaries is a big thing that we talk about. So, I believe that you should run your business and not necessarily your business run you. So, so that first workshop was wonderful. And because I oversold it, I ended up doing a second workshop just a few months later. And then I've done a third workshop since then. I do have a couple of digital products, and I have an online workshop, basically an online course in the works, where it's kind of a workshop in the box. So it's kind of like that. We'll have videos from me and things like that, shooting with seniors and posing and things like that. So as time has gone on, and I have daughters who have encouraged me to do this, they have, said, Mom, you should, get into sharing your fashion and things and your lifestyle hacks that you love to do with, women that follow you. And so kind of one thing led to another after that encouraging, and I gotten on to LTK, which is Like to Know It. And I share on my Instagram account reels of ideas of fashion. And really, I'm speaking to women that are 40 years of age and older, but sometimes there's women in their 30s and sometimes 20s. But hopefully I am inspiring women how to, get up and get fully dressed for the day, because I really believe that if we do that, it just makes you feel better kind of from the inside out. I laugh because sometimes my daughters would chuckle and say, Mom, why are you wearing jeans when we're going to lay down and watch a movie together or whatever? And I'm like, I don't know, because it makes me feel better. So when we feel better from the inside, right, it kind of comes on the outside. So along with that creation that I do sharing with women over 40, I also do UGC, which is user generated content. And so brands will hire me, and I will, which is when you mentioned the glasses, they will hire me to create content for them, speaking about their brand and, their selling points of their brand and things like that. And then I will send them content, and then they will whitelist that content onto my Facebook business page. So it has my name on it, but it is really their ad. They're paying for those Facebook ads and things like that. So anyway, that's kind of the gist.
Yeah, I love it. It reminded me of, because my daughter's 14, and the styles have changed over the years as they do. And I grew up it sounds like we have kind of the same mantra or whatever, but I grew up, my mom was like, you get ready every day. When you feel good, you look good, you act good. And so like I get ready and it's more just, I just want to feel good. And
exactly.
You know what I mean? And so,
yes, it's not for anyone else. It just makes me feel better. Yes.
Yes. It just makes me feel better. And I remember a specific time after I had my first son that I was so tired and I wasn't getting ready. And I read a book. I can't remember the name of the book, like Fly Lady or something. And that was one of the things it says in the book is like, get ready every single day and you will feel better and you will act better. And and so I was like, you're right, because I wouldn't get ready. And then, I was tired. I was a first time mom. I was staying home. So it was like kind of a weird time. And my husband would come home and say, let's go do something. And I'm like, oh, I don't want to go do anything. I look like crap. And and it was like, it kind of put me in like that, like funk.
It does.
And so I like, that is something. So it's funny now, like with my daughter, because like, again, the styles have changed. And I kept saying to her, like, I mean, do your hair and wash your face. If you're going to wear sweats, at least look good, Yeah. So it's funny now. She's older now. She's a little bit more into it. But yeah, I'm the same way. I feel like, gosh, I want to look good, and I feel like I show up better when I'm feeling better. And so
it is.
Yeah, I love that.
The first step to that. The other thing, and I don't really know your age, Brittany, but the other thing, being the age that I am, is truly midlife. And sometimes we reach midlife and maybe our bodies change because of hormones and things like that or whatever. But the trends and the styles do change, right? But there's a way to still appropriately dress. Still trendy, still cute, still make yourself feel, good for the day, but not the crop tops and all that kind of stuff, of course. But anyway, sometimes we reach that age in life where we kind of forget that, how to be inspired to do that. So hopefully that helps with that.
Yeah. Well, and one of the things too that I love, I was having this discussion with my mom yesterday. So I called my mom and I said, hey, I am getting family pictures. I need to go look for like something to wear. And she said something, and she said something like, oh, I'm not in the mood for shopping or something. I said, oh, I just wanted you to come and tell me that I looked cute. Like, that's all that's what I need you for. So, but we were kind of laughing last night because I'm trying on clothes. And I mean, everything I try on, my mom thinks I look adorable. And of course, because she's my mom.
You chose the right person.
I did. But I kept saying to my mom, and I think this is from my background with high school senior photography, because part of my business model was I was picking out their clothes and dressing them. And I kept saying to my mom, just because it is in style, that doesn't mean you need to wear it. Like, you have to dress for your body type. And I was telling her, I said, I know the style right now is super high waisted. And I'm like, it does not look good on, it doesn't look good on my body, like, which it doesn't look horrible, but I'm just saying, I know how to dress for my body type. And I think that's something too, that it's fun to have people who are older, because it's true. Like, we see these cute, like, young influencers that are like just as perky as can be. And, these cutest little booties and, and it's what they wear looks great on them. But like, I also think like dress age appropriate and stuff. And I'm not going to be wearing a belly shirt. I'm pretty sure that's like never going to, or booty shorts or anything like that. But so I love that you're doing this, because I like, and this is marketing too. There's a need. You're filling a need right now. And that's why you are like successful, and you're going to continue to be successful, because when you see a need in the market and you want to fill that need.
Yeah. It's an interesting business model, honestly, because, and this has been around for a while, but with influencers or creators, it's such like when brands connect with a creator and they say, we kind of want you to represent us, for a little bit in this campaign or whatever. So if you're the follower out there, whether it's me or whoever it is you're following, you build kind of a silent rapport where you're like, well, I know about that person. I watch what she does during the day. I like that person. I like how she dresses. If she likes that, then I think I'll probably like it. We all do that. I do that. I see people online and I'm like, oh, well, if she says, the fabric is great, then it's probably great. It's such an interesting business model, because if you take it 20 years ago, there wasn't something like that. Brands had to rely on, TV, radio, whatever it be. And now it's partnering with creators to get the word out there, And so as a creator, though, you have to analyze, do I align myself with that? Or, sometimes it might seem like an easy yes, but then when you want to post about it, you're like, is this the right fit for me? So you learn to kind of I only want to show things that I would really like, because I don't want to lose that rapport and respect with the people that follow along,
Yeah, yeah. And we were kind of talking about that before. I mean, it was something different, but we were talking about like staying true to your core values and how we both were saying like, I cannot lie. Like I am not going to tell somebody that this is awesome or that I can do this for them if I really can't. And that we struggle with that in being on an online platform because there is so much of that like clickbaity stuff and people who are, this is great. And, it's interesting because even a lot of the influencers, I think some of the really, really big influencers, I think that I started to come on to like, okay, everybody is promoting this one brand right now. And then to me, it felt like unauthentic because I was just like, they're all getting paid because they're all doing it at the same time. So are they really using this product? So I think it's true. Like, when you're building a brand, like, you have to stay true to you and to your values because like you have an audience that they'll hold you to it, so.
Right. That's a good way to say it. They'll hold you to it. That's right.
Well, Cindy, this has been so fun just to catch up. We're talking for almost an hour before we even hit record. So that's how long it's been that we have chatted before. But
I know.
Cindy, tell my listeners where they can follow you and find you on social media and all the places.
So I do have a photography website that has photography, but also I have a blog attached to that, which does have recipes, lifestyle hacks, fashion, trends and finds, capsule wardrobes for the fall and things like that. So that's cindyswansonphotography.com. And then the blog is on there. And then on Instagram, which is really one of my main platforms, I am at _Cindy Swanson _. And then I am on LTK. If any of you listening are shoppers on LTK, which it is a wonderful platform, a wonderful app for shoppers. It is really full of so much resources, great way to find gifts and things like that. So if you would like to look me up on LTK, it's just Cindy Swanson, all one word.
Awesome. Okay, Cindy, this has been so fun. But I like to end all of my shows with tell my listeners one pet peeve and one simple pleasure.
Okay, let's see. So a simple pleasure. This is truly simple, but I am a coffee drinker. Are you a coffee drinker? I can't remember.
No, I'm not a coffee drinker. I'm not a coffee drinker.
Okay, so I would say probably my simple pleasure is my warm cup of coffee every morning. Not addicted, but close to it.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah, and then it's truly simple, but sometimes we have to enjoy the simple things in life. For a pet peeve, okay, so this is funny. Every wife is probably going to agree with me at this moment, but so I love a clean counter in the kitchen. And I will, I'm usually the last one to bed because I don't know why it is, but as wives, we're the ones that lock up. We turn out the lights, we put the dog up, all the things. And somehow the husbands just go to bed. But anyway, so at the end of the day or in the evening, I will put everything away, completely clean off the counter because I love that feeling of coming out of my bedroom and I can have straight line vision to my kitchen. And so I'm like, oh, this is going to be so great because I will walk out and I'll just see this perfectly clean counter, no smudge on the thing. And then my husband gets up before I do and leaves for work at the crack of dawn. And I'll get up and it's like all the work I've done has completely been undone. So that might be my
that is a good pet peeve. That is a good one. Well, awesome. Thank you so much, Cindy. And I will put all of her information in the show notes and you guys can give her a follow. Let's not stop the party here. Head on over to my Instagram or Facebook group, Redefine Your Business, and let me know your thoughts about today's show. I will see you again, same time, same place, next week.